It's another beautiful Monday morning. How are you doing? Hope you had a great weekend. Welcome to Motivation Monday. My name is James Okumu. So glad to have you on board today. I think one of the fastest growing industries in this century, in this time, is the whole aspect of personal development. More and more we are hearing about personal development and why it's important, and a lot of people getting into personal development. But let's pause for a minute and ask ourselves, what really is personal development? And what are the benefits of personal development? How do I engage in personal development? Those are some of the things we want to take a look at today as we explore personal development and why it is important. And even as we get into this discussion, I wonder, have you benefited from personal development? If you have, or maybe if you're one of those people who offer personal development courses here and there, you can give us some feedback and let us know, how has personal development changed your life? What are some of the benefits you have experienced in your life because of personal development? I have an amazing guest. I will be introducing him to you in the next short while as we dig into this discussion. Well, Motivation Monday. My name is James Okumu. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. This morning we are looking at personal development. What is it and what are its benefits? In studio with us via Zoom, good friend, self-image expert, international conference speaker, seminar speaker, motivation speaker. He is also an author, has written quite a number of books. Bonnie Kim is with us in studio today. Bonnie, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Pastor James Okumu. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate.
Karibu sana.
And good to come back.
Karibu sana. So let's dive right into it. Personal development. Yes. When we talk about personal development, what really is personal development?
When we talk about personal development, is number one, I say, looking at it in practical perspective. One is, how can we be able to improve, one, our skills, our attitude, and our knowledge, so that we can be more advanced, we can be able now, because when we talk about, we are trying to overcome one thing, and one is self-defeating thoughts, and building a cruise control, like a belief system, because once you have that, I feel you can be able, because you want to build a mindset of I will and I can. Basically, that's what you're building in every person who comes to pursue personal development, that I can and I will.
Okay. You know, I look back, by the time I was in high school going to college, personal development was not a thing. If it was there, it was very mellow. It was not something a lot of people talked about. So I'm wondering, was there a gap that was seen in the market to give the rise to a lot of personal development coaches and personal development courses? What happened in there?
I think it's the way we learned about the theories of personal development, like Maslow hierarchy of needs, self-realization.
Yes.
And now we are in the information era. The first people have been able to realize that, wait a minute, I am as great as I know about myself. And let's talk about self-image, self-awareness, self-esteem. And you see now, everybody today want to know themselves personally, because there was a gap that we are told that don't just follow what you have been told. And this is what the education came. We were taught to do the things the way without questioning. But now people are saying, we have a lot of information, but now how do we do with this information so that we're able to advance ourselves in terms of our skills, in terms of our knowledge, in terms of our attitude, in terms of emotional intelligence? How do I advance myself and be able to get better pay, be able to be more confident about myself, about how I look, be able to be confident about my race, about my creation, about my religion, how I was built, because this is what everybody today is. People want to be a better version of themselves. Everybody loves to be the best version of themselves. And this is why we have the era that everybody want to be more informed, not about other things, but first about themselves.
Okay. So would you then say that personal development is something everybody should engage in?
Yes, it is. In fact, the first thing, self-awareness should be the first. You see, right now when you talk about Maslow hierarchy of needs, if you're self-aware, then you'll be able to get a better job that is going to help you to be able to provide the basic needs for your family.
Okay.
Then you're going to be able to handle your crisis well, because when you're going through challenges, because we have been taught about success.
Yeah.
But I always tell people, no matter how much you love about success, at one point you are going to fail. At one point you're going to lose your job. At one point you're going to have a challenge in your marriage, in your organization. You might get bankrupt. Your business might end. You might get betrayed. How do you overcome that? And this is what I tell people. You see, when you talk about personal, I tell people, look it at a whole perspective angle in such a way that you are preparing each and every person to be able to handle whether it's success or failure, whether they are going through downs in life. People don't lose themselves. You lose the money, but don't lose yourself. Lose the money, don't lose the dream. Go down in your job, but don't lose your marriage, and try to handle things at the lowest level that you can be confident about yourself. You know, you're shifting from that very expensive house to a very low house in a low income neighborhood. You are still smiling as the people used to see. Even when your car gets auctioned, you can just smile and walk in and get back in that boda and matatu. The same way, without losing anything about self.
I think I like
because
because
this is the big challenge today we have, Pastor James. I said people love going up in life. But I tell people, at one point you get down, not because you haven't done anything right, but because what you are aiming and your knowledge level, they are wide apart. So what do you need? You need to increase your knowledge. You need to increase your association with people who have been to the top, but who have been more down than where you actually are. And you also need to meet people who have less knowledge than you have, but they are doing way better in life, 100 times better, but you haven't thought about it because you have not been exposed. Your mind is still in a cocoon. Your friends are the ones you came from the same school, same church, same environment, the colleagues that you are. If you're in IT, all your friends in phone book are IT people. You need to disrupt. If you're in media, all your friends are in the media. You need to have a role. You need to have a doctor. You need to have your mind exposed. Associate yourself with people above you. And as I say, there are 3 types when you talk about personal development. And this comes in terms of exposure. 1, people who are way above you, people who are almost the same level, and people who are below you, those you are mentoring. Because this is what gives a life fulfillment, because people above you challenge you to think better and to see better version of yourself than the way you are. The people who are on the same level, they keep you always on toes. You told me you're going back to your studies. Have you gone? You told me you're buying a new product. Have you bought? You told me you're upgrading. Have you done it? They are your accountability partner. Then there are people who are below you. How are you mentoring the other generation? Because no matter which level you are, there is always somebody who wants to be like you.
Yes, very true. Do you think personal development is something that should be taught from even primary school or high school? Should this be
not even from high school?
From where? From nursery or from daycare?
From the daycare, from the day you learn to walk, you should program in your child that you are going to be a better person. You see the voices, there is power in words. And that's why the Bible says death and life are in the power of the tongue. So if you tell your son or daughter, you're going to be a great person, you're going to be mighty, you're going to be successful, that's what first build them from day one. First you build success. After they mature, then you teach them how to handle failure. Because even personal development, first, I excite you. But when it comes to the leadership and the champions level, I tell you the things you don't want to hear. I'll tell you, you're going to fail. Sometimes things are not going to work the way you have planned.
Very true.
How do you deal with that? You're going to lose your job. You're going to lose that promotion that you know 100% you are the right person for the job. And your best friends will betray you and they'll pick somebody else. How are you going to handle that? Are you going to die and cry over spilled milk and say, oh, my life is going to end? How are you going to handle it? Because that's how we mature in life. Knowing how to handle our failure without losing ourselves.
Wow. So, Bonnie, if somebody was to ask you about personal development as something they want to pursue, what
Yes.
would you tell them are some main key areas of personal development that they can start pursuing?
Number one, I always say, is building your head office. This is your mind.
I like that. Head office.
If you don't build your head office, then no matter which office you go, you're going to fail, because
Ooh.
everything starts with the mind.
Yeah.
And when you talk about mind, I also advance and tell people, before you build your mind, build your spiritual, your soul. Spiritual before it's physical.
Yeah.
If you can't build your success, connect yourself and know, hey, if I connect myself with my creator, I become unlimited.
Yes.
Then you're able to conceptualize that and have it first in the mind. And that's why I say one is spiritual, because you must have very good relationship with your creator. Because it starts there.
Yeah.
That's why you see the people who are very, very successful, there is a way in their spiritual is more advanced in terms of their faith, is more advanced than people who are just not religious.
Yes.
That one I can guarantee you. Whichever person, religion, one thing they first realize is that I as a human being am limited. But my creator is unlimited.
Yes.
So the moment that person first connect themselves in terms of their faith, then that person becomes an image. Then number two, the mind. What do you read? What do you watch? What kind of book do you read? What kind of movies do you? What kinds of programs do you watch on TV? What kind of songs do you listen? What do you expose? Your eyes, your ears, because that determines what you're going to speak.
Yeah.
Because in terms of personal development, your words attract your networks. Your words determines who you retain in your networks.
Yes.
The words that you speak, the quality of words that you speak. Do you speak words to bless, to heal, and prosper? Or are you the kind of person who keep complaining all the time, cursing, regretting?
Wow.
If you don't balance between these two personality, the words that you speak, are they words to heal, bless, and prosper?
Yeah.
Or are they words that you speak about regret, complaining? Oh, I wish I could. No, you have to learn how to balance that. Then another thing is about positioning, because in terms of personal...
Before you go to positioning, Bonnie, I want to take you
Yes.
back to the whole aspect of the mind, because
Yes.
I believe a lot of people are oblivious of how powerful our minds are. And that is why we are not very deliberate what we feed our minds on. You know, we just feed on random content. Whatever comes, we consume. Whatever comes, we consume. And we are never deliberate. You know, there's this notion, tulienda shule, tukamaliza, tukagraduate, tuko na certificate kwa nyumba, I'm done with that. Now, ni maisha full mwenjoyo. So you feed on anything. Maybe you can elaborate a bit on the importance of the mind and the power that our minds carry.
You see, the Bible says in the book of Proverbs 23:7, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he.
Yes.
Thinking. Romans 12, verse 2. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Yes.
Not removal.
Yes.
Not removal. Renewing. That means this is a day-by-day activity. Whatever you feed your mind today, the first thing in the morning, determines the thoughts you're going to have that day.
Yes.
Determines the words that you're going to speak. Determines your energy level that day. Determines the kind of dedication you're going to have and commitment that you're going to have. But people don't realize how powerful their mind is, because garbage in, garbage out.
Yes.
Whatever you feed your mind must come through your mouth. You sit down alone watching a movie, listening to that type of song, but believe me, it's going to come out, it's going to be processed, and it's going to come out through your words.
Wow.
Through the attitude you're going to show, through how you're going to respond sometimes to your bosses,
Yes.
to your colleagues. So you have to be very careful. What kind of book am I reading?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of movie am I watching? What kind of songs do I listen? What are the kind of people do I associate myself with? And how do they speak? More positive, more negative? You can know. Get your friends. Go through your phone books. Who are the friends? When you put your airtime, who do you call most?
Yes.
When you go on social media, what do you like most on Facebook? You keep writing. What do you retweet and tweet? On LinkedIn, we have seen today, this year in this country, people losing job because of something they posted on their social media.
Yeah.
So, and in fact, I remember one time I was speaking to about 10,000 university students at Kenyatta University, their program career, and I told the youth, I pity you and I wish you never joined Facebook when you were a teenager. Because I know how angry I was, and when I was angry, you went out through your social media.
Yeah.
And guess what? Is going to come and hunt you 50 years later, 30 years later, when you be getting that job, and somebody will say, apart from your CV, let's go to all your social media handles.
Oh my goodness.
And you're going to lose that because you spoke something out of anger.
Anger, yes.
Learn to control what you're feeding your mind. Don't let your mind be tampered by anything. When you're angry, I say don't post. When you're angry, don't post.
Great.
Don't put it on social media. Sink it down, because that's the power of the mind. Is going to bring something that might come and affect you. That's why you have to be very careful. And one day we're going to come and discuss only about the mind, because it's a very wide topic, run about conscious mind, subconscious mind, and superconscious mind, because the mind are 3 levels.
Very true.
Because you get to know how does our minds operate, so that we get to know the power of the mind. But we have to know how does the mind itself work.
Yes. Wow. Do you have any questions for us today? We are talking about personal development and why it is important. 20316 is the SMS line. The WhatsApp number is 0786 316 316. It is Motivation Monday. My name is James Okumu. This morning we are hanging out with the author and international speaker Bonnie Kim. We are talking about personal development and the importance of personal development. If you have any questions for us today, SMSs are coming in via 20316, WhatsApp on 0786 316 316. So Bonnie, back to you. You know, you had talked about the mind. You had begun talking to us about something else before I cut you short, so maybe we can pick it up from there, looking at what are some of the key aspects of personal development that you would advise somebody to look into. So umeanza na head office. What's the second one? Oh, there you go. Oh, Bonnie. Yes. I was on mute. I was talking to myself. But mambo ya technology, I was saying before we went into that music, you had begun talking to us about the different aspects of personal development that you feel are important. And you began by talking about the head office. So what's the second one?
Yes. The second one is positioning. You see, I've seen people who are graduates from very good schools, graduated, they have a lot of knowledge, but they are poor in positioning.
Explain.
And I say, I bring positioning. You see, Lazarus knew he was short, so he found his tree and he climbed his tree. So what is your tree?
Yes.
What is the tree? Because you got to climb. Some people don't have what it takes that is going to position them to be able to reap the results that they expect. It's one thing to build your knowledge. It's one thing to build your head office. But it's another to position yourself and make sure that you have positioned yourself in the right way. You have found your tree and identified the tree. And this is the toughest, because it's not going to come on a silver plate. You have to learn how to be shameless. And I was teaching this, and I was writing this in an article and teaching this to entrepreneurs. I told them one of the highest level of success is learning to be shameless, because most people get embarrassed when they get a no.
Yeah.
When they have calculated down all the move and then they are told no. I say true success is about being shameless. Whether you are changing or going up or going down in life, you are happy about yourself, you have learned yourself, you have embraced yourself, and you like yourself the way you are doing. You love life, whether negative comes, you still love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hate yourself. You don't degrade yourself. You still maintain your emotions, your self-esteem, and I say
Yes.
positioning yourself, because positioning is where you go on a cocktail.
Mm-hmm.
You meet somebody you have always wanted to meet, and you drop your glass of what you're drinking and go and make sure you take the same they are taking. You find where you can put it immediately, the one you are taking, and then you say, hey, hi, Pastor James Okumu, how are you? You pick the same together. You don't care how many people watch you when you are dropping the new one you are having. You knew deep in your mind, I had to meet this person.
Yes.
And I have found him in this event. So now it's positioning. The same way we find even in Bible. Others had to crack the roof out of the house because they knew they had a problem. So it required to do something beyond the normal for you to get something beyond what you're getting now.
Yes.
And positioning is everything in terms of success, because success is all about positioning. Personal development is about being dedicated, being disciplined to the right cause, having that good judgment and that positive energy that nobody can stop you. Nobody can tell you no. No matter what they tell you no, it doesn't sink, because no to you means next opportunity.
Yeah.
They are wishing you well.
Yes.
They are wishing you well. So positioning is very, very important. And positioning.
Okay. What's the other
Yes.
one? What's the other one?
Number 3, networking.
Ooh.
Meeting the final decision makers is very, very important. I always tell people, yes, decisions are made from bottom down. But despite decision being made by the final decision makers, in every person's life, there is somebody who influenced them most.
Yeah.
And networking is about finding who are the influencers. Because networking is very, very important. And that's the first you start with the head office, then you position yourself.
Yeah.
So when you're positioning yourself, you are asking yourself, who is the final decision maker in this organization that I want to get a job with? Or who is the influencer to the final decision maker? Separate these two.
Yes.
You have to separate these two. So who is the final decision maker and who is the influencer to the final decision maker?
Okay.
Because it's very, very important, because when you talk about our network, I say, we have had this slogan, your networks equals your network.
Yeah.
But I always tell people, the most important thing is that everybody knows the president. But who does the president know? It's not who you know that determines your network. It's who knows you and what do they know you for.
Oh,
and
yes.
what do they know you for?
Yes, very important.
So if you can know so many people in your phone who can have, but who calls you? It's not who you call, it's who calls you back.
Calls you.
And personal development helps you to know. And how can you be able to be a unique to them? You can offer a unique solution to them, because at the end of the day, what matters is in personal, when we are talking about personal development, you want to position yourself that when you give that CEO that call, when you give that person you want to meet who is going to uplift your life, you have the right content.
Very, very true.
Yes.
I want to take you back, Bodhi, because you have a very interesting story. And just looking at the things you've told us so far, first of all, beginning with the head office and then the whole aspect of positioning, I know this is not what you began doing. You know, when you were growing up, your first job, what. So maybe can you give us some personal examples of how what you're telling us has been able to transform your life and to get you to where you are currently?
Number one.
Okay, you're off.
Okay.
Your camera is off.
Apologies.
It's called technology. Having interviews on Zoom. I don't know if you've ever gotten to see one of those clips that has got compilation of funny things that happen when people meet on Zoom. It can be quite hilarious. Over this COVID season, a lot of meetings have been happening on Zoom, and very interesting
Yes.
things have been going on. Cameras falling, people going to the
Yes.
bathroom and they forget to switch off the camera. It's been crazy. But back to you, Bonnie. So how have
Yes.
these things helped you personally? Beginning with the head
Number
office.
one, I started with the head office, and when I joined, I started personal development back in the year 2007. And for me, I was doing for myself. So, and I remember the first book I read was The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey.
Yeah.
And I started to develop myself. Then years later, I got a job in Nakumat, and I have now known my potential. I know now what I can do and what I cannot be able to do. So when I joined Nakumat, I knew I wanted to become a trainer from day one. So every day I tell myself, I'm going to be a trainer in this organization. So I used to tell myself the way saying renewing. So every day I used to have those positive affirmations I was creating. So I moved now from the warehouse department to the kitchen department, which I say was the deliberate move, because I realized, I was working in the warehouse from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. and the people working in the kitchen, they are working now from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. So I started to strategize, how can I be able to join the kitchen department? And a friend was given that position and gave it to me. So there in the kitchen, I shared my dream. I want to become a trainer. And my friends were telling me, Bonnie, is not about what you know, it's about who you know. I remember telling them, in life is not about having godfathers. Life is about knowing God the Father. Because when you know God the Father, you don't need godfathers, because godfathers are human beings like you. And there I got a very bad accident. It was taken, got burned half of my head. It was so bad the hair was coming out with the skin. And when I was there in the Mater Hospital, guys who came to see me, the HR manager and the operations manager. And guess what? I saw the opportunity, the way I say position. So that God positioned me. I could have reflected upon my pain, but I saw an opportunity for me. And I asked them, can I join the cleaning department? And after I returned to the company, I was given the opportunity to become a cleaner. From a cleaner, they say, when you're given a task, given a job, do it, give it your best. Always ask yourself, is this my best? And that's why I tell personal development is not about learning the better position that you can take, but being the best in the position you have at hand now. Because if you take maximum advantage and give your best productivity at the job at hand now, the next one is not going to come.
I'm just curious. Why did you ask to join the cleaning department?
The reason I was taking the cleaning department, because people used to work from 8 to 5 p.m. and then on Saturday they used to work from 8 to 2:30. So you could not know the difference between a cleaner in the office and somebody who cleaned the office. And then on Sunday, people used to beg them, just come and help us in the kitchen department. We are going to give you maybe a cup of milk. We are going to give you something special, such.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was intentional. So, and one of the things that's what I was looking for. So I was looking to have more time. And when I was there, that's when I wrote my first book, The Greatest Secret.
Yes.
It's my first book. And I said, this book today is this book. So I started with this one, pocket size.
Yes.
So, and say, Bonnie, I thought you were writing a book. So it was a notebook. So you get people who move around the way.
Yeah.
And I gave out this book to the heads of department and the MD, one brother to the MD, the late Mosha, got, let's say, sorry, peace. And he was looking for me, and I was doing general clean the toilet. But who has the number for the cleaner? No one. So when I came out, I told people looking for me, Bonnie, where are you? And thought maybe I was fired. And he said, what time do you write? I say in the morning before I come to work and after I leave work. So I autographed the book for him. I got, the next day I was promoted to a receptionist.
What?
I said it was not where I was coming, but it's better than where I was as a cleaner.
Yes.
And when I was there at the reception, the best thing happened, because as the reception now was reporting to the MD at Tulsha, telling him who is waiting for him at the reception. And then from there, I asked myself, wait a minute, why don't I share my dream with the final decision maker?
Yes.
So one day I waited until I called him. And it was about 2 years wait. And I said, I want to see you. And I shared my dream. I want to become a trainer in this company. And nothing happened for a whole year. But there was crisis in customer service. I remember there is a young man at the reception called Bonnie Kim.
Yes.
And he told me, come train. So he called me, he said, Bonnie, come. You see, the first time he asked, is there a problem? Now, for the second time, I was asking him, is there a problem?
Yes, yes.
These were the words I was not used to hear. And I was told on Monday morning, I'm going to send you the regional manager. He's going to introduce you on my behalf. I don't know what you're going to, but no customer service is bad. And that day I say, as I always share, in life it's better to be ready for an opportunity and not have one.
Yeah.
Than to have an opportunity and you're not
ready.
For me, I used to prepare. I used to read 4 to 6 books every month and prepare myself. I used to have a full-size mirror, practice as if I'm training thousands of people. And guess what? I trained the first branches. I was told to go train all the branches. December, I got a promotion letter as a trainer. A department that never existed, only existed in my crazy mind, I got it. And then January, I got another letter as a training manager for Nakuma. So, and that has been my journey until I resigned now in 2014 to do it full time.
Yeah.
And today, I tell people, if you can see it in the mind, then you can be able to achieve, because I said, I also wrote another crazy dream. I want to speak to over 150 countries, impact over 50 million people by 2050. Looking back today, I have done 12 countries. I've done 3 continents.
Wow.
So if you just see it in the mind, I say, personal development sometimes sounds crazy because it is about building the level of your faith. Because the Bible says, if you can believe, all things are possible to him who believes.
Yes.
Not to him who has potential.
No, to him who believes.
But to him who believes.
I like that. I like that. Okay, I want to give you an opportunity to ask your questions. Najua ni Jumatatu. Monday, you wait until 5 minutes to 9 and then you ask me all the questions. No, throw them in now. It's 19 minutes before we get to 9 o'clock, so we have about 15 more minutes before we end this discussion. So throw in your questions right now, 20316, WhatsApp 0786 316 316. Bonnie's story always inspires me. I've heard it several times, but it's one of those stories you want to just keep hearing and hearing again, because it shows you the power of personal development. He began investing in himself. He had a plan. He knew where he wanted to go. He did not despise where he was. He maximized on the opportunities where he was to grow and grow and grow. And I love what he said. It's better for you to prepare yourself and never get an opportunity, as opposed to never preparing and then you get an opportunity. Unaenda huko kujiaibisha. How prepared are you if an opportunity landed at your door right now? That's a question you and I need to ask ourselves. Well, Wagoi from South Sea, I was wondering where you are today. Thank you for your comments. You're saying, wow, Yani, that guest is the one who trained Nakumat staff on customer service. Their customer service used to be A1. Thank you for that feedback. Asante sana. Your questions, once again, 20316, WhatsApp 0786 316 316. A question here from Mary. Mary is asking, where do I begin? You know, you guys have talked about so many wonderful things, but I'm just wondering, as an individual, if I want to engage in personal development, where would you suggest I begin? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Yeah, so where would you tell Mary to begin? She's wondering where to begin.
The first place where you begin, number one, is taking stocks of how much you know or you don't know about yourself. And first I say, for me, I started with just one book that triggered who I thought, and that was the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So I recommend, one is, Bible is very good, especially reading the Bible.
Yeah.
Is very, very, because that's something you can easily access. Then try to get some of the few books that can be able now to help you be able to identify yourself. And I think for me, one book I recommend is my book, Born Without a Choice, because I documented my story and I say it doesn't stop. Personal development doesn't stop. It's something you got to keep taking stock every day. As I say, it's renewing each and every day.
Yes.
And then be a good corrector of positive thoughts, positive quotes, so that, because that's the first basic steps. And then get a mentor. Get somebody who's already in personal development. There are so many people we have in Kenya right now who are very good in terms of helping people in terms of personal development. Identify one, attend their seminars, attend their talks, attend their forums, get to read their books, especially the ones that you like, because we have many. Just go online, you'll be able now to see, because you must have learned from somebody who is already in Kenya, so that who have already been in the same context, so that you'll be able now to start.
Okay. So yes. I know we've talked about many things, but maybe even as we wrap up, maybe we can highlight some of. I know you've already talked about some, but maybe there's some you haven't mentioned. Some of the key benefits of personal development, and why it should be a priority for each and every person.
Some of the benefits. Number one, personal development will always help you to get a better paid job or earn more money if you have your own business than the other people who are not self-aware about them. Then number two, it helps you retain and attract people with influence and affluence at the same time, because you reason better. If you can reason better, you attract people who have good judgment, who have people who can reason better. Then number three, personal development helps you to have more confidence in yourself. So it helps you more than anything else. Whether you're going through ups and downs in life, you remain constant. You remain your positivity, you remain with your confidence, and you remain knowing that you are a better person. Then number four, it also boosts your spirituality, which that is building your faith. That also helps you to be unlimited in terms of the opportunity that you go for. You go for bigger opportunity, because today most people, if they see a job being advertised, one being asking you be paid 2 million shilling, the other one for 200,000. Majority people will go for 200,000.
Wow.
People who are personally aware, they go for the one for 2 million because they know I can deliver that. And then number five, personal development helps you to build healthy relationships.
Wow.
With people.
Okay.
And also build your influence that makes you position you to be a leader in so many sectors. And I can say personally, today I serve in several boards, like 4 in the corporate, in schools, in the boards. I'm also the club president for my Rotary Club of Iku, and saying also hi to all Rotarians from Rotary Club of Iku, the happiest club in town. So you see, what I did, it works for me daily. So my story hasn't stopped, Pastor Kumu. So when I met you, I was club secretary, grown to club secretary, then vice president, then president, then president. So you see, keep growing every day. So apart from corporate, every day there is something that you are doing that people don't listen to Bonnie Kim and his or the past Nakuma story. There are other things that are being done behind the scenes. There is growth. So I'm a beneficiary of personal development. And that's why I say every day I'm becoming better.
I like that.
And every day I'm becoming a better version of myself. And every day I'm liking myself more. So the more I advance, despite the challenges, I overcome the challenges and I say, wait a minute, I hadn't learned that. And as I say, if you do the way I say, if you do the hard things in life, then your life becomes very easy. And if you do the easy things in life, your life becomes very hard. So people are doing the easy things. But personal development pushes you to do the hard things that people hate in your organization, in your company, in your profession, because the moment people know that you're going to deliver, they always come for you. And as a Chinese proverb states, one of my favorite, there is no man who wakes up 365 days before dawn every year that fails to make his family rich.
Ooh, that's a nice one.
Yes.
That's a nice one. That's a nice one. Bonnie, even as we wrap up, I'm just wondering, if you had not engaged in personal development, where do you think you would be today?
Yes.
Where do you think you would be today had it not been for personal development? If you had just settled with where you are and the job that you had, where do you think you'd be today?
I think I'll be so many years behind where I am. I think I don't even want to imagine, because it will be pathetic, because personal development for me has transformed everything about me. It has brought me very meaningful people.
Yes.
Like now, even in Notary, and even saying hi to all the classmates present 2020, 2021. Amazing people we are working with, because people consult you and you feel resourceful.
Yeah.
People and corporates come and engage you. When you find organization from out of the continent and they are paying for you the air ticket, the accommodation, and paying you, you feel resourceful. When you meet people you have mentored, youth in high school, we have gone to over 400 schools in this country, speaking to them, and some meeting them 7 years later, and you find, oh, I'm a manager, and they say, what? Wait a minute. I just met you, I was speaking to you as a candidate the other year.
Yes.
I took your lessons, I ran with it, and I feel good. And one of the most humbling experiences, I was speaking to one of the 2 schools I spoke that were standing out. One was Boni Girls, and the other one was Ituru High in Kiambu. And they passed. And the other one in Kisonko in Oitoktok. And we just spent like 2 hours with them on a program I have, Finishing Strong. And by the time you finish, everybody is fired up. You go to check their results. They have passed. Then you realize, wow. So personal development sometimes is like a tour, because I say, is like jam starting.
Yes.
This is a person who have whatever it takes. The way your car jams, it has everything. But that just to be ignited, like just immediately. Sometimes it might happen even a flash.
Yeah.
And somebody, their life will never be the same again, because you have clicked. So for me, it says it's the best experience, because every person, after I finish and I feel those testimonials, it gives me fulfillment doing that. I'm not just living for myself.
Yes.
I'm living to impact other people's life.
That's true. Bonnie Kim, thank you. Thank you for your time this morning. We truly appreciate. We have to do another session on the mind, and so I'll let you know when we can get together again and talk about the power of the mind. Asante sana.
Thank you so much. And saying hi, like my page on Facebook,
Yes.
Bonnie Kim. Follow me on Twitter at Bonnie Kim Mother, and LinkedIn at Bonnie Kim Mother.
Awesome. Asante sana. Well, just imagine that. Once a cleaner, and now he's out there trading corporates, traveling the world, speaking to multitudes of people. Why? Because he invested in himself. Personal development. He had a plan. He recognized his strengths. He put time and effort into them, and the rest is history. And I like what he said. His story has not ended. It's still continuing. Hajafika, because sometimes that's the mistake we make. When we reach to a certain level, we think, nimefika, niekele mguu juu ya meza, somebody serve me a cup of tea, life is good. No, you keep growing, you keep growing, you keep growing. Well, that's all the time we have for today. I hope our conversation has been beneficial to you, and you'll begin looking into personal development if it's something you had not begun to.
For this and more of our shows, log on to www.familymediaonline.com to enjoy a wide variety of programs, from current affairs to testimonials and features, pastoral and inspirational shows, kids entertainment, and so much more. Also stream live on www.familymedia.tv.